There is nothing that gets me more upset than when a guy doesn't go by the script that you wrote for him. Okay, yesterday I called this man and he does not pick up. Okay, free will, fine. And he responds saying, I'm at XYZ. And I say, do you have 2 minutes? I just needed 2 minutes, let's reconnect. And he says, is it an emergency? He texts me back, is it an emergency? Yeah, it's gonna be an emergency. You're texting me asking if it's an emergency? Imagine I'm just like bleeding out and I'm like, yeah, it is, LOL, but anyway, emoji war. Yeah, what if it wasn't? Just iMessaging me and you're like, text me back, kidnapper's busy. If it's an emergency and you are sending me a blue bubble, no, I mean, no words. I saw red, white, and blue. I was like, where is the nearest gun store?
What?
Lady, men are not actors in your little play in life. We got things to do and we think for ourselves, and we don't have time to be paying attention to your stupid little scripts. This dude was busy and wanted to know if what you had to say was serious enough to make him drop the obviously important things that he was doing. And your response was to get butthurt with him because he wasn't willing to drop everything just to listen to you complain about something you saw on TikTok. Yeah, sorry sister, the world doesn't revolve around you. And even if it did, that'd be a horrible thing because the human race would be extinct. Yeah, you may be filled with an inhuman amount of hot air, but you're incapable of being able to keep an entire planet habitable with your blustering. But even if you're not the center of the universe, you're still not breeding. So in a way, you're still ensuring the extinction of humanity. So because of you, we're doomed no matter what you do.
We are screwed.
I just blocked another man, let me tell you why. Asked me, what are you doing on Friday at 7? You know what? I'm free. He's like, let me know what place. Be a man and lead. This man ends up picking Sparrow, a rooftop bar in Fort Lauderdale. Fancy, DJ, they're serving lobster. Goes up in a backwards baseball hat, sunglasses, at night, and ripped jeans. Oh my god. We sit down, we get to talking, tell him I'm a content creator. He goes, do you know the actual numbers with being successful on that? Dinner ends, he pays as he should. Asked me to go to a next spot, and I'm like thinking I don't really want to, but I guess. Proceeds to not walk me to my car. And it should have ended there, but it didn't. I call him and say I changed my mind about where I want to go, and he goes, low key, that's like a pain in the ass thing to do. Still, for some reason, waiting for this man at the bar. 15 minutes. I texted him, thanks for dinner, I'm going home. Blocked.
You go, girl! You get it, girl! You hear that? You got it, girl!
So you Kobayashi Maru'd him. You forced him into a no-win scenario. You set him up for failure and then you get pissed off at him when he fails. He not only picked the first bar, he paid for the tab, and also picked the second bar, which is what you wanted him to do in the first place. And your response was to be as inconvenient as humanly possible. You changed the venue mid-drive, which is a low-key pain-in-the-ass thing to do, and then wait for the pettiest excuse just to ghost him. You then blocked him and act as if you're the powerful one, but you're obviously using this guy for free food and drinks because you spent your extra money on those nails that you clack around when you want people to take you seriously. But we already know that you're serious. That's why we avoid you like the plague. We have better ways to waste our time than to be with somebody who wants to terminally infect our wallets.
We do have this money.
Universe, take care of her. Take care of her. Send her money. Send her gifts. Send her play. Send her fun. Send her laughter. Universe, thank you. Thank you for taking care of her. Thank you. Thank you. Let today be fun. Let today be easy. Let the universe take care of you. Sit back, and let the universe take care of you. Your word is that powerful. Your claiming of this intention is that powerful. That's all that's necessary. That's all that's needed. You just believe in it. You believe in the universe. The universe will show you how powerful you are. You are the one in power. The universe would love to send you gifts. The universe loves to send you gifts. The universe would be honored. The universe is honored to send you money. The universe loves it. The universe loves to see your smile, to see your ease, to see your ease. When the universe sees that you're just like easy and chilling, the universe is like, oh, she's ready to receive. I will deliver. The universe is delivering today.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but there is no big lie. There is no system. The universe is indifferent.
Yeah, I got a question for you, sweetheart. If the universe loves to send you gifts, then why do you have to ask for them? Shouldn't the universe just be sending you these gifts without you having to manifest anything? And while we're on the subject, why are you trying to manifest the things that got you into this mess in the first place? You made your money and it did nothing for you. You spent your years chasing after Chad, racking up bodies the same way that Rowdy Roddy Piper racked up one-liners, and your prime years were lost in a blur of alcohol-induced hedonism. But then you think the best solution is just to ask for more of the same because that's what you think is going to fix your life. But if you ask me, if the universe loves sending you gifts, then the universe is probably going to hit you with the gift of reality. But that gift will be much like what you did with your life, a complete and utter waste on someone like you, because you'd rather live your life a delusion instead of accepting that your actions have consequences, and there aren't enough presents the universe can send you to change that.
You blew it. Capiche?
You do not want to marry a man that is cheap. It's literally one of the worst qualities that a man could have. And if they pride themselves on being cheap, you should run in the other direction. Those men end up being like those 50-50 guys that are like, oh, let's split everything. I also don't like cheap friends. Cheap friends are really annoying too. Though there definitely is a difference between being cheap and frugal. If a guy is saving for your future, that's totally fine, but he shouldn't be cheap with you. A good indicator on how cheap a man is on your first date. Like, obviously, if you split the bill on your first date, which is like the most cringe thing ever. I don't think girls should be paying for dates in general, but if you do want to treat your man once in a while, fine.
Give me some money. Give me some money.
Well, that's where you're just wrong, sweet cheeks. The most cringe thing ever is a modern woman who wasted all of her money on trinkets and designer clothes to lecture men for not wanting to waste his hard-earned money on a woman who doesn't appreciate the things he does for her. You measure a man's worth based on the contents of his wallet, but we base your worth on your attitude and your general demeanor, and both of which have made your value fairly close to rock bottom. Now, you shouldn't have any problem paying for your surf and turf if it means spending time with a quality man, if you actually wanted to spend time with him, but you clearly don't. You don't see men as human beings, you see them as service providers. And if that's how you want to live your life, then it's your call. Just don't be surprised when men realize that ordering a $20 pizza is a hell of a lot more pleasant and significantly less painless than a $200 dinner tab with a less than basic woman who wears 3 pounds of makeup just to make up for her 0 pounds of pleasantness.
I'll let that pass. Harry is cheap, he's always penny pinching, and I feel like he's not only cheap with you, he's cheap with his friends as well. Cheap men usually don't prioritize comfort, so you're normally like living in a place where you're not really that happy. He also might be judgmental about your spending habits, and that is so annoying. By the way, he can still be cheap and make a lot of money. Those type of men are the worst. A man is cheap if he insists on splitting things or making you pay for things even though he can afford it. One time I dated this man 8 years older than me and he Venmo charged me $150. An outing that we went on with his friends, never saw him again. If he's trying to save, he should still spend his resources on you. Anyway, that was just my ick of the day. Cheers.
I want to party with rich people.
Full disclosure, gentlemen and gents, I am not a millionaire, but I have known a few of them and they'll be quick to tell you, millionaires do not stay millionaires by wasting their money. They'll use discount codes, coupons, and try to haggle on commodities to get the cheapest price possible every single time. And he's not going to want a woman who's going to judge him on how he spends his money when he's not allowed to judge you on how you waste yours. Yeah, that man might be willing to provide you with a comfortable lifestyle, but you kinda sorta technically have to prove to him that you're worth that kind of treatment. And you don't do that by acting like an entitled brat on TikTok, especially when that entitled brat clearly has nobody in her life and has a zero chance of getting into a relationship with any man, let alone a cheap one. Those men are under no obligation to reimburse you for any of your time when you clearly wasted your money on a green tea set and a designer dress that'll be too small for you in 2 years.
Not fat.
Well, not a present, but I could see you really pushing maximum density.
Oh, it feels so extreme, the fact that I'm journeying about how life-changing this whole decentering men thing has been so far. And maybe it is. Maybe I am as crazy as I sound. Maybe putting a boyfriend on my vision board every year wasn't a goal that belonged next to my self-love and 6-figure salary goals. Maybe that's why this so-called detox of men attention has been the best times of my life. And I can hear my mum saying, oh, don't be silly, Mia. Well, without sounding silly, I've been exposed to every inch of my brain for the past 2 weeks, and it's been screaming, give me guy attention, as if it's bloody oxygen. Because up until now, it literally
probably was, and I really wish that wasn't true. But it is, and somehow I'm still alive, which is the most surprising thing. Actually, no, the most surprising thing is that I'm probably feeling more confident than ever, which has made me realise that feeling I used to call confidence when a guy replied to my story, that wasn't confidence, that was just comfort. It was literally as if my brain was going, this feels like being seen, so it must mean I matter. Because when I was younger, I didn't feel like I existed unless I felt approved of. So every time I got that little hit of attention, it was basically just my younger self getting that bit of acknowledgement that she needed at the time.
Oh, poor you!
This whole decentering men thing is complete nonsense. I mean, when you think about it, you have this entire group of women bragging about how they don't focus on men while making the focus entirely on those men that they're trying to ignore. And then to add insult to injury, they're the same kind of women who need to record every single aspect of their lives. I mean, lady, the world does not need to see you struggle with an overhead compartment. People are trying to board the plane, and it doesn't matter if you're an economy plus, you're being very rude, and it's all for a video where you secretly complain about how you're traveling the world alone and not having a man in your life. Now, you still crave male validation. That's all in your clothes you wear and the poses that you make. You want a man in your life, but you can't admit it, so you obsess over them by telling women that you aren't obsessing over them, which is the kind of plan that can only be made by a freaking coyote.
And I've been calling that confidence all these years. So yeah, decentering men is going well so far as a whole. And yeah, my DMs may be dry, my love life may be boring right now, but I'm happier, to be honest. The thing is, I'm not deleting men, I'm not hating them, I'm just taking away their ownership over me. Like, I can now wear plaits full well knowing that a past fling is watching this and probably hating me in plaits. But I'm refusing to let myself do things that I think would make a guy like me more, I guess. Which isn't what I'm used to. I've just realised a lot, to be honest. I've realised that I literally avoid any guy who likes me. Because I get scared, and that's because I think I only feel safe with the ones that feel familiar. The ones that are inconsistent, because love was inconsistent as a kid. So this whole time I've been trying to rewrite the story, trying to win a game I didn't realise I never wanted to play. The game of emotional dodgeball. And I think that game is more extreme than the journal entry of decentering men. So no mum, I'm not being silly.
Congratulations!
Right, so in other words, you're just avoiding men because you don't like the ones that like you, and you're refusing to take any form of legitimate care of yourself because it's just easier to blame your blunders on an unhappy childhood. I mean, look at what you're doing right now. You're taking lavish vacations, you're spending money on a first-class ticket to God knows where, you're taking expensive yoga classes and eating overpriced food. You'd think that if you actually wanted to do better in life, you would have taken some of that money and invested it into a therapist that wasn't completely worthless, but that would mean having to take some accountability, and we all know the only thing you don't want worse than a good man is taking responsibility for your actions. But if you did that, then you wouldn't have time to record yourself doing mundane things while being oblivious to the fact that anybody could have stolen your phone while you unlocked it to record yourself taking a sip of an overpriced coffee. And if you can't do that, then what's the point of living, right?
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense.
How to make a man absolutely obsessed with you, ladies. I'm talking like back when men wanted to build churches, castles, commission art after their woman. They were so in love with them. Okay, say you guys are texting, right? Going back and forth, and they say something sweet to you. It could be as little as like, you know, oh, you look so beautiful today. Anything nice. Screenshot that, right? Okay, then send that back to him. But underneath, type like, OMG, he is just the sweetest. He literally has me blushing. Like, whatever it is, you're gonna make him think like you accidentally meant to send this to a friend, but really you sent it to him, even though you know you sent it to him, but literally just like something sweet, because it's gonna be like, OMG, this girl is so obsessed with me that she's literally texting her friends like screenshots of the sweet little things I'm telling her, which is second of all gonna make him do it more often because he wants to impress your friends. It's honestly just gonna give him a little boost because he's like, I did that. So that's just something kind of sweet and funny.
Man, that's just mean. That's mean, man.
I hate to break it to you, sister, but men didn't build castles for women. They built castles based on strategic locations to not only house a person of noble blood, but also a place that could be relatively easy to defend in event of a rebellion or an invasion. Second, your first idea is extremely rude. You're telling this dude that you're sending screenshots of private conversations to a third party, and you're not telling him that you're doing this. You're effectively telling this man that nothing between the two of you will ever be private for very long. It's not cute. It's a massive red flag. And then to add insult to injury, you're intentionally lying to this man just to get an emotional reaction from him, which is literally a form of emotional manipulation. And none of this is necessary. All you have to do is be peaceful and nice to this guy and you'll have his attention. And if you resort to all-out lies to manipulate him into digging you, then maybe it's not the best idea to be doling out advice. I mean, considering that you're an online avenue stroller, that's probably the best thing for you to do there, sweetheart.
That's why I praise the Lord for prostitutes.
To do is the slow reveal. Okay, so you're gonna show a little skin, but discreetly and quickly. Okay, so say you guys are at brunch, lunch, dinner, whatever, you're gonna lean over a little bit, show a little quick view down the shirt, or your shoulder strap's accidentally gonna fall down, or you're gonna hike up your skirt a little bit, you know, fixing it, adjusting it. Or my favorite thing to do, ideally you're in like skirts, dress, something like that, and you're wearing either heels or sneakers, whatever it may be, have to like fix your shoe, okay, whether your shoe's undone or your heel's hurting, and have them like help you, like the ankle strap, and be like, oh sorry, like my heel, can you like help, or like my shoe came untied, and hopefully he'll put like his knee up, or he'll just get down on the floor and help you if your shoe, but your clothes kind of looking up at you. There's just something so hot about a woman's leg. Like, men are visual, and honestly, even like the leg doesn't seem like that spicy of a zone, legs are hot. Like, the thing I love to do is the whisper. You're gonna get really close to him, say you're in like a bar, restaurant, wherever you are, even if it's like not that loud, you're gonna go close to his ear, kind of get right next to him, and when you're right there, you're gonna whisper something into his ear. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could literally just be like, hey, do you want to get out of here? But the thing is, when you're whispering on his ear, first of all, I want you to be so close that literally your lip almost grazes the ear, kind of like tickles the ear. Or you could just be like, can we please get ice cream after this? Like, if you guys are out to dinner, like, as I told you, it doesn't have to be anything super serious. It can be as naughty or like, you know, PG-13 as you want. That's all very androgynous zone.
And that's sexual harassment.
Yeah, well, that one sounds completely pointless. If you're at the point where you need to use your body to get a dude to pay attention to you, then he was never interested in you in the first place. A lot of self-respecting men don't mind a little bit of playful flirting, but this sounds like borderline blue balling just for the sake of psychological damage. But what's really disgusting about all of this is that you're objectifying yourself in the mere hopes to get a guy to think about you non-stop, not having him being interested in you long-term, nothing about making him feel respected, just ways to get him to think about you to an unhealthy degree, which is pretty much what you want. It's all about validating your existence, and this just reeks of a massive lack of respect for the man. You clearly couldn't care less about this guy. If you did, you wouldn't have to go through these lengths just to get him to pay attention to you. You'd want to pay attention to each other regardless. But if you're at the point where you need a dude to be gawking at your boobs just to pay attention to you, you're freaking doomed.
Nothing is more enticing than positive energy. In a nonchalant generation, get excited about shit. If you're going to dinner and you're like looking at the menu and they, you know, you see creme brulee and you're like, oh my god, like they have creme brulee, like I love creme brulee. Like, people love energy, happiness. That positive energy is just so intoxicating. Like, people want it. Last thing that I adore that is just like so enticing is random spontaneous smooching sessions. Like, pull them aside to a private little area and just like, you know, push them against the wall and, you know, smooch, make out, have fun. Like, it's like a freaking YA romance novel. Why not? And honestly, like, pull them aside, you know, when you guys are walking on the street and just like into a park or down an alley, not like a suspicious alley, but like, you know, like a cute little pretty alley. I don't know, you know what I mean? When you get older, the more exciting things in your romance and in your romantic life are usually those little things having like that excitement, like that, oh my god, like what if we get caught? Like, oh my god, where are we? Obviously, you can tweak these however you want to make it more yourself and feel more comfortable with it, but these will definitely be guaranteed to work.
Your intellect is as weak as your dollar. Failure is your destiny. You disrespect yourself and your nation. You are made of stupid.
Or you could, you know, be nice to the guy and cook him a meal every now and again. You could show your appreciation for him by just wanting to be around him. If you're going to the point where you want a relationship to be like a young adult novel, then you're dating for all of the wrong reasons. I mean, sure, the parallels are there. Your life is generic, it's uninspired and completely dull, so I guess you got that part locked down. And it's so dull that you're needing to figure out ways to force a dude into making your life exciting instead of just trying to make a relationship work. Now, if making out in the rat-infested alleyway and getting risk being questioned by the cops is what revs both your engines, then hey, be my guest, more power to you. But this is what happens when you prioritize hedonism over just trying to be a good person. I can't really be surprised about all that. Just look at the disaster that you've made for yourself. I mean, you're an online avenue stroller whose diet consists entirely of caffeine, abuse of ADHD medications, and pure emptiness. And of course, you know we got to shine some love on the fine members of the Bounty Board over on Patreon for their continued support of this channel. I can't thank you guys enough because it's you guys that are allowing me to get this content out there. So thanks a lot, Bounty Board. All hail! And if you're finding that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, and be sure to share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you once again for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.